At least you can wish me luck.
Go, what happened to wishing a nigga luck? I can clearly peep a snake through these cardiac buffs. I was that nigga in the cut that they had thought wouldn't be nothing. Just wanted to play in the streets, had forced my hand, I had to do something. Who that? BGE boo.
You can keep a secret, cause it's been quite some time since you and I been creeping. And if your man call, put your phone on D&D and don't worry about nobody else, tonight it's you I'm seeing. You not my girl, I'm not your man, but the bond is special. We been kicking it for real ever since I met you. I know your man treating you wrong, you can stay tonight. I got some wine, cook food, and a candlelight. Yeah, you right, we kinda bugging to be doing this, but for real, when I'm with you, only you exist. We got a different vibe, shit you can't explain. And not to mention, you be fly in them soul planes. I'm just saying, you kinda make me feel like cuffing you. Not gonna lie, I don't be really feeling this comfortable.
Yo, you already know what it is. It's your man King Ace, Moments of Clarity Show, King Ace Network. I'm in the building with my lovely co-host
QUEENSHAMULA. You already know, putting you on. Hello.
I'm also in the building with a fucking, yo, this is a personal favorite guest right here for me. My man.
Yeah, what up? It's your man Julito. What's the word, my G?
Julito, man.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah.
Yo, for a minute, for a long time, bro. I've been seeing you grind for a long time.
Facts.
Since you was a kid, you know what I mean? Like, what got you started in the door for you to be motivated to be able to get on your grind?
Yeah, man. It's been a long journey, you know. I've been doing this shit a long time, like 20 years now. So,
Facts.
You know, I'm from the streets for real, my nigga. I'm from Flatbush, Brooklyn. I just come from a hustling ass family, my nigga. Like my mom's back in the day, she was just those ones in the streets that was like, she just did a little everything. You know, she always knew how to get to it. But then she had a, you know what I'm saying? Shout out Mama Love for sure, Miss G. But, you know, she just saw, like, I was always a different kid. You know, I was always just those kids you knew, like, he may be in the hood, but he not a hood kid. Like, there's something different about him, you know. So she just put her brain together and just was like, hey, my son going to be a star, however he going to be it. And so we started with music first. Then, you know, that, it was hard to figure out how to make that pop. So then we went over to the dance world. Then from the dance world, that's how we got into the acting. So it was my mom straight just being a hustler. And like me, I ain't really have no, you know, some kids, they're a kid and they dream of getting an Oscar or some shit. None of that was for me. Like, for me, I was just like, whatever my mom was going to do, I'm going to do it. And then I grew my own love for it, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I owe it all to my mom for sure.
So at what age were you when you first started the acting?
I was 11, but it was only little things here and there, you feel me? It wasn't like nothing major. My first major gig was MIRCALES Boys, and that was when I was like 12, 13.
Right,
yeah.
Let's get to that.
Yeah.
Yo, first off, right, one of the main reasons why I had to get you on this platform was because, rest in peace to my brother Devin, right? I lost my brother a few years ago, and growing up, Miracle Boys was one of our favorite shows.
Wow.
You feel me? Because we related to the storyline.
That's love.
So the fact that I was able to get you to pull up here, and I know for a fact if he was alive, my bro would have loved this interview.
That's love, my nigga.
Yeah, he would have pulled up, bro.
That mean a lot to me, my nigga.
We dad watched that shit like mad times, yo.
That's
so
love, bro.
Why you in the stash?
Yeah, absolutely.
For real, bro.
Nah, that's love. That mean a lot to me. I think that's what the point. That was why I was happy to do a project like that. You never really seen young black dudes having what brotherhood looked like. You only saw it here and there. They wasn't trying to show nothing like that. For me, so when I got the opportunity to do that's another one. But when I got the fact to do Miracle Boys, it was just special. You know, shout out my guy Pooch. Shout out to Sean Nelson, the legends in the game. But you know, when I got to do that and we got to show what brotherhood looked like, and it wasn't like you just watching these three brothers be out here selling drugs or whatever. It was none of that. It was just three brothers that loved each other that was trying to get by here and there. You know what I'm saying? And it was special to me, so that mean a lot, my nigga. Sorry for your loss too.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you, bro. How was that casting right there for the Miracle Boys, like you and Pooch Hall, and like how was that on set for y'all?
That shit was crazy, man. Shout out first off, at this time, you know, Sean Nelson. Sean Nelson, a legend. He came from Fresh.
Yeah.
He came from The Wood. Sean Nelson was, you know, OG at this point. So, and then Pooch this was Pooch's first project. And Pooch was, you know, this way before he even did The Game and all that. But, and me, I was cooking a little bit, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people I started to have a buzz in New York. And it was just, and then, you know, it was Spike Lee. Spike Lee doing Spike Lee magic, man. He saw us together and he was just like, first we did the pilot, and people don't know, like, you'll shoot a pilot for a project, and then they might fuck around and recast it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they tried to do with us.
Right.
So we did the pilot, then they was like, you know what, bet. We don't know if these are going to be the ones now, because now it's going to be an actual show. They got to re-audition. And we like, what? We got to re-audition. We the one who gave y'all the bag to even do the full show, you know what I'm saying? So that was crazy, and we went back in there and killed it, and then they was like, yeah, all right, these guys, like, ain't nobody else could be.
What's meant for you is going to be for you.
Exactly.
So that was your opportunity, even though, you know, how shit goes.
And I feel like Spike just he knew it was us, but he just wanted to make sure, he wanted us to show them white people, like, nah, these is it. But I put them back on the audition process. They going to show you, you know what I'm saying? And we rocked that shit again, and then from there it was like.
All three of y'all had to audition again? And
we had
obviously y'all all three killed it.
Bro,
you know
so the audition process was even crazy because we went in there and Spike was just like, you know what? Don't even say the lines. Just go. He gave us a scenario and was like, he just came home, you mad because he's trying to take over.
Right.
Just go. And we just went for like 20 minutes, my nigga. This whole scene we made up in our own heads and shit. And that's when they was like, yeah, they got it. They got it. Like, it was, but I needed that too as a young, at this time, this is my first project. Like, I needed that kind of, to realize how intense the audition process could be. You know what I'm saying? Because then right after that, I just started booking. But it was situations like that helped me to get where I am now, you know?
Elevate. Go ahead. You look like you was about to ask us something. You got all the questions. I'm asking when I'm ready.
What experience did Miracle Boys give you?
Oh, man. Shit. Everything, bro. Like, it was my first time being a lead of a project. I was young. I'm 13, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like number one on the call sheet, you know what I mean? And that for me, I had never experienced nothing like that. So and I was in high school at the time. So excuse me, my birthday late in the year, so I was about to turn 14. But I was 13 going into 14, so I'm a freshman. So I'm getting picked up from high school in the middle of the day to go shoot uptown in Harlem. And working with Spike was a pleasure. You know, he is what's advertised. You know what I'm saying? He a legend. He's an intense person, but he gonna get the best out of you. You know, and then not even just Spike. We had 4 other directors. We had Bill Duke. You know, from I forget where, but Bill Duke is one of the greatest directors of all time. But he the one in Menace to Society that was like, you know, you done fucked up. Yeah, that's Bill Duke.
Legend right there.
Legend. Nima Barnett, she's huge. You know what I'm saying? One of the best black women directors in the world. Best directors, just in general. Then LeVar Burton. LeVar Burton was Roots, Kunta Kinte, and Reading Rainbow, all of that. Star Trek. And then we had Ernest Dickinson. Ernest Dickinson wrote and created Juice. You know what I'm saying? So that's the 4 directors that I got to. You know what I'm saying? That's my acting class, because still to this day I haven't been to an acting class, but imagine your first project, you working with those directors. And it's like, damn.
Hold on. So you saying still till today, after all the films you've been in, you have not been in no acting classes?
Nope. Nah, bro. My mom's was my only acting coach, bro. My mom's was. I've studied, right? So I haven't been in a room with a coach and a bunch of other people. I've done my own personal studies, but I had on-set experience, bro. Like I just told you my first role was 5 legendary directors, you know what I'm saying? And then from then on, it just kept growing and growing. So then I'm working, my first movie is with Angela Bassett, you know what I'm saying? Then it just, all of the greats I've been able to work with, I've had the best acting class, you know what I'm saying? Then I'm from the streets.
Yeah.
So all of my characters was just bits and pieces of my friends.
Yeah.
You know, bits and pieces of niggas I grew up with that I'm like, okay, like I may not have been naming, but I knew a naming in my hood. You know, I knew a nigga in my hood that moms used to make him sell drugs. And so I just tapped into a little bit of just my environment. So, yeah, never been to an acting class, bro.
So, what motivates you more? Is it the acting or the music?
That's a good question. I mean, music is a different level of like, it asks for me to be a little deeper and a little bit more vulnerable because it's me. I'm telling my words from my experience in my life. Whereas an actor, I'm someone else. You know, I'm stepping into their shoes. I feel like I love them both. I can't even choose, honestly. I think acting is I'm able to speak for somebody else. Music, I'm able to speak for me. And I think there's just two different muscles that I put on at two different times, you know?
I think when you autistic, it's kind of hard to choose which one you know what I mean, prefer, because it's like you was saying, like, you know, as an actor, you get to play from a different perspective, from somebody else's role. So being able, like, growing up in the streets, you, of course, you know what I mean, you was firsthand into dealing with your friends and drug dealing and stuff. So to channel that and become an actor with it is like more personal because you've been in that experience. And then music, like you said, is like sharing your vulnerability and just letting people feel you as a person. And both is just you know what I mean? You giving it your all. Yeah, I admire that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So when it comes down to your music, what type of lane you feel like you in right now?
Oh man, I'm in a bag, my nigga. I ain't gonna front, bro. Like the music I'm making, whether it just be a freestyle on the IG, whether it's when I'm working on a project, I just dropped my album, Legendary is the Option. You know, whether it's like getting into a real like album mode type bag. But even if I'm just going and just putting words together, my nigga, it's just different, bro. Like, and I feel like I've been doing music before I was even an actor, but I think I found a groove, you know, and I never really had a groove. Like, I'm paying for studio here. It just always felt rushed. It always felt like I wasn't being like myself.
You wasn't comfortable.
I wasn't comfortable, my nigga. Once I got into a groove, like
musically, my
nigga, because what it is, I think what really helped is not having to just, I could be in the studio for however long I want to now. I never really had that. It used to be like, I got to get in an hour, 2 hours. Yeah, you paying $100 an hour.
You build your own. All right, see, that's definitely, that's always the goal. That's always the goal, right? Because when you got to pay for studio time, you know, you always thinking about, yo, I only got 4 hours.
Exactly.
So you gotta try your hardest to cram everything in one session.
Exactly.
But when you build your own, when you got your own, bro, now you could just wake up and go,
my nigga,
punch right in,
my nigga,
leave it there, leave it for 3 days, punch back in at that spot. Yeah, that's definitely.
You know what's crazy is this is not the first time I've had access to a studio in this way, but I think what changed is I found myself musically. I realized what I want to talk about. I think when I first was making music, I don't think it was me. I think I was just trying to make a sound. Like I was just trying to follow a trend. You feel me? Nigga, now
you finding yourself.
Yo, but I've been on the journey of finding myself, just like me as a person. Right. I don't even think I knew myself well enough to tell my own story. You know what I'm saying? Now, like the music I'm making, bro, like I'm just in a wave right now.
It's dope that you were able to admit that.
Yes,
yeah, I was about to say too, because not a lot of people like will ever admit, like, as when I came into the music, I knew what I was doing. You ain't know what you was doing.
Everybody want to be Mr. Know-It-All.
To admit that, and
that's one thing I am is a student. I always say the moment you stop being a student, you die. You feel me?
Deep.
Moment you stop being a student, you die. And for me, I've always been the type of nigga that's like, all right, what you telling me? I've never been a know-it-all. I've never been a know-it-all. So I think for me, I've always been like in a journey of self-discovery. And I think now I'm in a place that's like, I found it. I found it.
So when you in the studio, right, you know how everybody got certain things that they need. What you need for you to have a good session?
That's a good one. I don't know, just a vibe. Like, Honestly, my nigga.
Ladies,
Nah, bro. I don't need. It don't really matter, my nigga. When I tell you, bro.
Based on the song type of.
Not even, bro. I'm just in such a. I don't even think it's me, bro. I think something's speaking through me right now, my nigga. I'm liking like a different vibe. I don't really need nothing. I don't need nothing, my nigga, no more, bro. Like, I ain't gonna front and not even on no cocky shit, just real shit. Like, sometimes I even be surprised with myself, like, damn, my nigga, like, I'm really making music now. I wasn't making music before. I was just rapping. You feel me? I was rapping, my nigga.
That feeling, man.
Yeah, nah, like, now I'm making music. Now I'm making, like, shit that honestly, you know what it is? When I used to make records before, I never cared to hear them back. So I knew it wasn't in me right yet. I never cared to hear it back. Now I make shit and I be hyped to hear that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll listen to my own shit now. Now I'm making music like, oh, I'm going to listen to Cole, I'm going to listen to these other rappers, and that's when I would be excited to hear music. It never really was like that with my old records. With these ones, I'm like, yeah, my nigga, now I'm making some shit. I'll go listen to this shit later. You know what I'm saying?
And then sorry to cut you off.
Yeah,
and then too, you listening to yourself, you get to be your own critique. You know what I mean? As far as like you listening to this song that you just ran through or whatever, and you're like, you know what? I could have next song. I'm definitely gonna add this ad lib, and so it's definitely a growing process within that too. And just to go back to you saying like you using other people's music as as motivation. You know what I mean? I could relate because I feel you. All right, I'm gonna go back to you just saying like when he asked you what's your, what you need in the studio, you was like, it's just I don't need nothing, it's just me. Like me on a spiritual tip, like just to interject, like I think that's very dope because it's in you. It's something that's born. Like you don't need nothing outside of you. It's already embedded inside of you. And then to go back to just you flowing and you actually now listening to me because I'm my inspiration. You know what I mean? I don't need somebody else now to make me feel inspired to make music because now I know who I am. And that's just how you grow on your journey. You know what I mean? You go through those phases of, back then I ain't even want to listen to myself. Now I want to listen to me because I know what I'm about. I know what I want to put out. Feel me? Sorry, let me breathe.
You talk that shit. You talk that shit.
Nah, I just be feeling shit on an energetic level. So, you get inspired by shit like that because people don't admit that. They don't admit the truth as far as it's a journey and everything. Acting, music. You have to go through a period of what the fuck am I doing? Do I really love this? Then you stop. You be having writer's block. Then you go back to it like, yeah, I found my groove. This is what I want. I just wasn't in the right space. I didn't have the right materials. And you know what I mean? Once it's a journey that is for you, you're going to always connect to it, no matter how long it takes.
Right. You know what also, on like just some fly shit, like Lil Wayne said it on his Drake record. He was like, these new niggas, they always need a beat. They need a subject. Nigga, just go in the booth, nigga, and just go, nigga. Like, these new niggas be too cute with it, bro. Like,
I would ask you that because you was a rapper, rappers we do that. You think that benefits you, like, even with that mentality? Like, go in there, just dump it.
That's it.
Like you said, musically, at least I'm just dumping, hitting niggas, whatever I want to say, how it is, but is it a dope mixture that you have the rapping and the music combined now?
Yeah, it's absolutely.
I know you make good music, but the lyrics it ain't what it used to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know what it is? I always would have been able to make a song. So that's like from a kid, I just come up, even if it wasn't the greatest, I always had the ability to make a song. Now the fact that I'm able to rap along with making a song, absolutely, it's hand in hand. You need both of those.
Chico right
It's
there.
a lot of niggas that can rap, but they can't make music, and vice versa. Like, how many niggas we know that could just spit, and then you put them like, you got to come up with a subject, or you got to come up with a theme. Niggas can't. They just can't. It's a lot. We was talking about battle rappers. A lot of battle rap niggas that can't do that. But it's a lot of niggas who make music who can't battle rap. Most niggas actually who make music can't battle rap. So it's finding both lanes is always like, it's always good.
Who's your favorite battle rapper right now?
Oh man, it's too many. I think for me right now, favorite. Let me see. It's crazy. Probably Jazz the Rapper. Just 'cause I
in my
don't-
mind, I was just like,
honestly,
Shout
like,
out to the homie Jazz.
and
bro.
that's my sis. But honestly, it's just because I really don't see nobody beating her right now.
yeah, I feel like we watch her grow.
Yeah, like, but honestly, like, I was thinking, because I'm like, you know, shout out Mook, that's my brother, so I always love Mook, he one of the GOATs, but, like, I can't see Mook beating her. She beat Geechee. Like, who's beating Jazz the Rap? Like, I fuck with Easy, you know what I'm saying? Chess my nigga. I like when these niggas rap, like, because they really rap. Like,
Yeah.
it's a lot of niggas that can't rap with fucking Calico, a lot of niggas that can't rap with fucking, a lot of niggas, but, like, I don't see nobody beating Jazz right now.
Jazz is just the one right there, right?
I just don't feel like nobody could beat Jazz. So I'm gonna say, if I had to say my favorite battle rapper is Jazz, cause it's a few niggas like, alright, nigga Clips just beat Calico in my opinion. I used to think a lot of niggas can't beat Calico, but then I see Clips beat her. I'm thinking, alright, a lot of niggas. If it wasn't for Chess fucking stumbling all the time, he be getting me mad because that nigga's so nice, and I'd be like, fix whatever that shit you got, because these niggas.
It'll be the round when he leaving Earth.
He leaving Earth, and then it happens.
He leaving Earth, and then before you know it, there's a
and I'm
slip up,
sitting there and I'm like, oh my God, if this nigga had flawless rounds every time he spit, we would put him on our Mount Rushmore, bro. Because a lot of niggas couldn't beat him. So it's a lot of niggas. You know what I really like though? I've been watching this nigga Ill Will, man. I like Ill Will. Yeah.
Ill Will had a time where he was that guy, but I don't know.
Wiley still that nigga.
Nah, he been wilding lately.
battled the
40.
RBE just now, right?
battled. He just battled. I saw
battled
him
the
in 40 the other day.
Yeah.
I didn't watch him in
I'm so lost.
Yeah, my fault.
All I know is Jazz the rapper.
You gotta get in tune. You gotta get in
But
tune.
of course,
Hollow,
now I am.
Hollow.
I'm looking at
He
all
just
y'all.
battled Hollow, and I'm like, that nigga nice. You know, I wouldn't put him as like one of my favorites, but I just like spitters, my nigga. Like, I like niggas that like I fuck with Easy. He talk that shit, nigga. Like, he talk that
bars,
shit.
and you understand
Like,
bars.
my
you feel
nigga,
me?
he talk that shit. For me, I be liking when niggas talk that pain shit. Like, talk that shit like
That
where we
pain,
come
that
from.
struggle.
You know what I'm saying?
No,
like,
yeah.
then I like the goods. So it's like, I don't know. Like, that's a tough question because goods talk that fly shit.
Yo,
Niggas,
look.
you know what I'm saying?
Shout outs to my man Sincere Cyphers, right? The next event that we do and we you gotta pull up, bro.
Please, you ain't even gotta say it. Just tell me the Addy, I'm there, my nigga. That's late.
Definitely pulling up. The last cypher, niggas had P.
Oh, that's
niggas
fire.
had Goods. Niggas
That's
had
fire.
Geechee hosted it.
Oh, my
Tay-Rock,
niggas.
Jazz,
Yeah.
Bad News.
Oh, that's where they was doing the
Bones
cypher
Dante.
shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, yeah. I just peeped that. I seen who was on that shit? Son from Phoenix. What's his name? Nitty.
Yeah,
Nitty was just
Nitty
spitting,
was
right?
there
He
too.
just I
That
just
shit
seen him
was,
post
yeah,
that shit.
you gotta watch that shit,
I'll
bro.
pull up.
Ace, you know what I'm saying? Throw that up, better get your promo.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, man.
Ace too, nigga.
You know what it
Ace
is,
too,
man.
nigga.
Hey, yo, look. I'm going to tell y'all, man. Shout out to my man Ciroc, too, because he say this, but I'm going to tell y'all right now for 2023, I'm Mr. Everywhere, man. I'm everywhere.
That's it, my
You're going
nigga.
to see me everywhere. You're going to hear me
That's
everywhere.
it.
My name is being brought up in them rooms.
That's
you
it, my
heard?
nigga. That's it.
And I'm humble with it. But just letting y'all know, I'm here. You heard?
Me
Ain't no
too.
such thing. Ain't no
I'm
such
here
thing.
too.
Ain't no such thing as humble. My nigga, ain't no such thing as humble, my nigga. That shit is for suckers,
Yeah.
man.
Nah,
They want-
that's
not
G
saying
shit.
you.
I know what
not
you
say-
mean.
But like, cause I think that's niggas that tell us to always dim our shit.
Yeah, I
Always dim our
take it like
lights.
that, though.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
take it
Like,
like that.
we don't do it subconsciously, but sometimes I be watching people like, I'm just be humble. Even I said it
Yeah.
earlier, I was like, no and that's like
Yup.
that shit's for
See,
suckers,
it's a-
my nigga.
it's a
Nigga,
different-
why
You wanna
can't
tell
we speak?
me-
Why can't we speak life into our shit?
Right,
Why you
right.
can't say, nigga, I'm gonna be everywhere and that's it, and I'm better than all you niggas? Why we should be able to say that, my nigga?
Exactly,
That's
I
where
agree.
rap come
That's
from,
what
my
I'm
nigga.
saying, yo.
Especially rappers. That's my nigga. We grew up on X, Hove, fucking
All
all
competitive
these
spirits.
niggas, and they
All
was all
competitive
telling each.
spirits.
Even Ja Rule was telling Hove, "I'm better than all you niggas." We look at it now and be like, what? But
Exactly,
at that
but
time,
he was
said I
hungry.
was
He
better
was
than all
hungry,
you
yeah.
niggas. That's what we should be. That's why I be saying these new niggas, man, like, I don't even listen to rap no more sometimes, bro. I listen to R&B because these
Yo,
new
I'm-
niggas,
nah,
they don't
I'm
got
right,
it for
I'm
me
right
no
there
more,
with you,
bro.
bro.
Like,
I don't listen to. I'm telling
bro.
you, my playlist got mad R&B all
that's
over
it, my
bro.
nigga. Outside of like the Griselda, outside of Ran,
Right.
I
Shout
think
out
Ran
to
is my
BSF.
favorite. Shout out Ransom. I got him on my album. I think he my favorite rapper right now in the world. There's nobody rapping better than him. Honestly,
honorable mention. Shout out to Ransom.
Cause he's on the album, my nigga.
Ransom has been flawless through the whole 2022.
Since 2020, my nigga.
No.
I don't think he's doing anything.
I'm not.
No,
I'm talking about.
We're gonna go back though because listen, when he was with Stacks and these.
Oh no, yeah.
For 18, right?
18,
All right.
absolutely.
If we gonna take it
I
back
agree.
then.
I agree what you're saying. Nah, but Rand had to figure himself out again.
Yeah.
But the run you talking about, the 2022 run, I'm gonna say from 2020 now, bro.
Yeah.
If you really think that nigga dropped like 10 albums
within the midst of 2 years, bro.
My nigga, and flawless every
project.
Honestly,
every project.
It's niggas like him that motivate me, bro. Cause I'm like, if I listen to an album, if I listen to seven, 8 records from a nigga, and he can have a flawless verse every time, I'm like, I gotta rap better, my nigga. I'm not even gonna play with this shit. If I can't give you a flawless verse every time I put words together, then I'm not doing it.
I think rappers, MCs like Jadakiss, I'm gonna say Benny the Butcher, I'm gonna say Ransom. Those 3 right now are 3 that I feel like never had a whack verse. I feel like Benny, Jadakiss, and Ransom never had a whack verse. I think every verse they have spit, if not flawless, it was always said in a way where you never gonna be like, yo, nah, I don't wanna hear this. Nah, I don't wanna hear this. To me, in my opinion.
No, I'm thinking. Yeah, I'm thinking. Yeah,
Everybody
Benny.
has their opinion.
They're rappers.
Shout out my nigga Benny. That's my brother. But
they're rappers.
These niggas, I would have to search. If I gotta search far and wide for a bad verse, for a bad rap, then that means
it ain't there.
It ain't there.
Yeah.
I'm
It
searching.
ain't there.
Yeah, it's a lot of niggas.
Don't
with bad
go reaching.
It's a lot of niggas with bad raps.
Don't go
too
reaching.
many niggas with bad rap.
It's a quick off topic, but I want to ask you how you felt watching the Dipset versus the Lox.
That's a good. I like that question because I never got to talk about this nowhere. Absolutely. Absolutely. And shit we dreamed of as kids, like, I wonder if Cam versus Jada.
That's a fact.
I mean, it broke my heart, my nigga. Like,
was you Dipset or was you Lox?
Honestly, I like the Lox better, but going into it, I was like, I think Dipset gonna violate. And then it broke my heart. It broke my heart because it wasn't just like they won. It's like they embarrassed them niggas, bro. Like
that's
Kiss, my nigga. Once it started, I'm not gonna hold you. At first, I was like, all right, Dipset, let's get it. You know, I grew up on L, so I'm like, let's get it. Soon as they started with the DMX intro,
Soon as
and then went into boom, 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 fuck you. I said, oh, it might be over. Yeah. It might be over. Like, I didn't expect that, bro. Like,
from the beginning to the end, the Lox and Jadakiss was straight flawless.
Impeccable.
Straight flawless.
That's impeccable penmanship. And they didn't rhyme on no track. There's no words on their tracks.
Yeah.
None of that.
They rap.
Press the beat and I'm going to find it.
That's
different,
my
nigga.
Shit,
in the garden.
Bro.
It was a moment. It's crazy.
Was a moment.
I got invited. My peoples had tickets for me, and I live in Jersey. I was like, I'm too tired. I'll just watch it from the crib. The whole time.
You said you was too tired?
I swear to God, my nigga.
I know you regret that now, bro.
10 minutes in, I was like, why the fuck I'm not there? But I was so good, I didn't want to miss it, so I didn't want to leave and go to the guard. I'm only like 20 minutes from. I'm like, nah. I was so sick.
Damn.
Yeah, just take that L. Stay over.
That was bad.
That's an L you gotta hold.
When he did New York,
cool.
Oh my God, I was like, but there was a moment.
Electrifying, man.
The Kiss and the Lox, man, has always been my favorite rappers. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, I never heard a bad Kiss verse ever in my life.
For real.
That's niggas I remember listening to fucking Who Shot You freestyle and recording that shit on the radio. Like, I'm not that old, but like I was always a young nigga that was in tune. So like I remember hearing that shit like, I was like 9, my nigga. Just didn't even know what rap was, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's shit like that's just motivating for sure. All
right, so now that we got the music part out the way, right? Now let's backtrack to how you got started working in The Wire with that cast. I want to say, first off, rest in peace to Michael K. Williams.
Absolutely.
I got a chance to meet him before, and he was definitely a high spirit guy.
Absolutely.
Very motivational. I got a chance to hear him speak, hear his story. Rest in peace to him. How does looking back now, all these years later, from The Wire now, how do you feel about it? And how you got started?
Yeah. It's well, first, just looking back in it, you know, it's the only thing that, like, I look at it and I be like, damn, like I did some shit outside of my kids. This is the only thing I've created that I'm like, I know for a fact this gonna stand the test of time. Like, think about it. People talk about The Wire now, and this show been off air for like 12 years, bro.
Yeah.
And they talk about it consistently. They talk about it in the same light they talk about Power. And Power's on TV now, still.
Yeah.
So the fact that we're celebrating, what was it, 20 years of The Wire.
Yep.
What show do you know they celebrate 20 years
after?
You're not even talking about a show 2-3 years once it come off TV. You know what I'm saying? The fact that
now for the new demographic, the new
it still stands. It still stands.
Yeah, I rewatched The Wire like 4 times each year.
Yeah.
I went to Target and bought the edition.
That's a
the
fact.
DVDs,
That's a
yeah.
fact. That's a
Had
fact.
the DVDs in the cut,
That's
yo.
a fact.
Birthday can give me that.
That's a fact. So for me, I'd be like, I don't know a lot of shows that we doing that for. You know what I'm saying? There's a few, the Martins, you know, there's a few, but it's like to know that I was a part of something they call the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But not even just urban. I mean, absolutely for us. No, absolutely for us. It speaks to us.
Category of the Martin,
But
Right.
Fridays and them shit
But
that you got
then
in the case.
you look at all even them white niggas lists. We number one on them too. You know what I'm saying? So for us, for our people, it's culture. It's us. We get to look at that and be like, okay, they took a part of us and put it on screen. But then to know that I'm on something that's still
Very iconic.
That even the others is saying they number one on our list. You know what I'm saying? I'm nothing but gratitude. Nothing but gratitude. And that process, I mean, I was bubbling. I was bubbling in New York in the acting world. They was getting the idea like, oh, this kid's probably up next. Like, and the audition came around. And when the audition came, they wanted a little bit of everybody. Like, they had thousands and thousands of people. If you was young and you had an agent in the acting world, you auditioned for the show.
That.
You know what I'm saying? And like, but I went at that time. I was talking to somebody recently about it. Like, yo, I was just so fearless. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't look at like now. That's like now. Say I go on the Black Panther 3 audition. I'm gonna go on that shit a little nervous because I know this is the one. This gonna change my life.
Right.
Like this is it. But at that time, it didn't matter what it was. I was just like, nigga, I don't give a fuck. Let's get it. Oh, The Wire? I didn't even know what The Wire is. I was just like, all right, cool. And it's funny. A week before I got the Wire audition, my mom's, we went to another audition and they had like a questionnaire for me. And then one of the questions was like, what's your favorite TV show? And at this time, I didn't really watch TV. I'm like, Mom, what you think I should put? She like, put The Wire. I'm like, what's The Wire? And she like, it's this show on HBO. And she said to me, she's like, if they ever have kids on this show, it's going to be crazy. But just put The Wire. But then a week later, I get the audition.
Wow.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I need to meet your moms.
She a real one, my nigga. She
manifested that for you.
Manifested that, right?
Very
manifested,
powerful.
spoke that in
Existence, definitely.
Absolutely. And then so that process was actually pretty quick, honestly. I was the first one out of the other 3 boys that I was the first to get the role. And they kind of used my personality to kind of support them getting the other actors. Yeah, so I would like audition with them and stuff like that, yeah.
So with the Namond character, right? Do you think Namon's mom was evil?
I did at first. I did, because just how she read automatically watching was evil. You know, fucked up. But then when I got older and I had my own kids and then I just started to understand life more, I was like, all she knew was the streets.
Right.
That's it. She didn't know anything else. And maybe, was it wrong, her putting her son out on the streets? Absolutely. But I can't fault her for what she was taught. I can't fault her for what she know. If she knew better, I'm sure she would do better.
Right.
I can't fault that. Did she do it in the right way? Absolutely not. But like, I look at her and I be like, a single mother, husband in jail for the rest of his life. Yeah, they helping out a little.
Weebay was a soldier.
He a soldier, right? So they still helping out a little. Barksdale still helping out a little, as much as they could. But it ain't probably enough. And she got to figure that shit out. So she's operating out of fear, out of scarcity. So she gonna make the choice, survival. So she gonna make the choice that she seems, that seems best for her. And in that, I can't judge anybody what they do unless they ain't harming nobody. If they not taking advantage or abusing anybody, I can't judge what choice you make, and I can't judge.
So let me ask you this, right? For me, over watching that show so many times, I done analyzed every character in my head. Right?
That's good. I like that.
So
I like that.
Peep this.
Yeah.
Tell me if you see the comparison with these three characters.
Okay.
I feel like D'Angelo Barksdale. I feel like NAMOND BRICE. And damn shit. What was Michael B. Jordan's character? Wallace.
Yeah.
I feel like Wallace, NAMOND, and D'Angelo all had something in common.
Absolutely.
What do you think? What do you think that was that all three characters had in common?
Well, I think just off bat, you got to say they wasn't built for it. They didn't have the heart for what it takes to be in that world,
in that life.
Yeah. So, but not like we've deemed, like in the hood, we've deemed niggas who don't have heart as negative. Right. Sometimes that's just not true. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's okay sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But they each was in positions that they couldn't get out of. But I want to hear what you think they comment. Because I also agree. I do think those three characters are in alignment.
It's mostly on what you just said on them not having a heart. But what I see to identify with all three characters are, they wanted to be in that world. They wanted that life. But all three characters wanted to do it without the killing. They didn't want bloodshed. Wallace was comfortable with selling drugs until Weebay and Stinkum did that crazy shit to Omar's boy. Wallace was good before that.
Absolutely.
He just wanted the money. D'Angelo was good until he started to see that Weebay and his uncle really get rid of people when they get in the way.
That's a fact.
D'Angelo was good.
That's a fact.
Then when he knew that niggas was gunning for Wallace, that's when he started breaking. Yeah. Because in his mind, he said it. Why we can't do this without the killing, yo?
That's a fact.
And the same thing I saw with NAMOND. NAMOND wanted to get fly. So he wanted to hustle on the block. But guess what? NAMOND ain't want to go shoot nobody.
That's a fact.
He didn't want to go have to put the beats on nobody.
That's a fact.
You know why? Because they just wanted they was in it for the hustle.
Yeah.
But not for the bloodshed and the killing and the robbing and the stealing and all that. Yeah. I feel like all three of those characters had that in common. Yeah. They wanted to do it one way.
But it's the other. Yeah, I think that's a good analysis of it. I think for me, they wanted it to be. They didn't have. You got to have a certain level of violence, vigor, and like violence and vigor to be a successful drug dealer.
That's a fact.
You have to. It's the game has been the same, and everywhere you look, the game is the same. No matter if it's Baltimore, Brooklyn,
changes.
It never changes.
The players change.
The players change. The game don't change.
The same.
Right. So like, they didn't have that. But I think with NAMOND, NAMOND was different because he came from a good life. So his was a little bit different because he didn't struggle like the others. They all knew struggle, and that's why they chose drug dealing, because they didn't want that life. Maybe that D'Angelo and NAMOND's a bit the same, because D'Angelo, his uncle had probably been in the streets for 20 years. Right. He was only like 22, maybe even 19, right? So like he also came from good, but like Wallace came from nothing. Wallace lived in a fucking crib with all
In the vacants.
and the vacants. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's interesting, those three dynamics of those characters, and I do think they parallel each other. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a good astute construct you did there, my nigga. You really watch this shit, my
Yo,
nigga.
I'm telling yo, The Wire has shown me and it has dropped so many gems where
Hell yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, when I get mad, I watch The Wire. When it's time to get ready for war, you watch The Wire.
I teach
People
you
don't
everything,
understand
nigga.
each episode, it prepares you for something.
Absolutely.
What's that son from what's this nigga everybody walking around that he's good? You can't stop the rain. What's
Lamar.
that?
Lamar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you look at it.
Every show is
When
taken
you
from
look
The
at-
Wire.
yeah, every show,
If it's about the
Yep.
black, if it's black, and it's especially if it's about the drug game.
It's
but
the
if
blueprint from The Wire.
It's
Series.
everything, Money and
Blueprint from The
Violence, all
Wire.
these people. Nigga, fucking, what's his name? Damn, Mister. On
Yeah.
Money and Violence, he was Omar, a version
Yep.
of Omar.
Yep.
Because we always had that.
It always got to be a villain.
It got to be a villain.
It always gotta be a
But the
villain.
crazy shit is, Omar wasn't really even a villain. He only robbed and brought violence to drug dealers.
Yeah.
So essentially, he was like a hood hero. Because how many times we saw Omar take from them and then give it back to somebody else?
He was the hood vigilante.
Yeah, Peter fuck Robin Hood. You know what I'm saying? Like
the real definition
the real
of
Robin Hood, man. Yeah, it's crazy, man. I talk about The Wire like I'm not even on that shit. I ain't gonna hold you, bro. Like sometimes, cause I guess maybe I was so young, so like when I look at it, it's like I'm watching a whole different. Sometimes I forget I'm on that shit. You know what I'm saying? Cause it's
Right
such, but it's
yeah.
cause it's that good. You know what I'm saying? It's like for every show to take a piece out of it. So much. They don't even just take a piece out of it. If you look at every single TV show, every single one
Right.
that got black people in it, there's somebody from The Wire in it. So every single one. This is the only
Yeah.
show that you know the
Shout out to
ensemble.
Trey Chaney.
Everything. Trey is in.
Yeah.
I think is he in the
Idris
next episode
Elba.
or his came out yet?
I think he in this episode of BMF,
BMF
that's
coming
coming
soon.
up on Friday.
Okay, good. Yeah, shout out Trey. He be hustling his ass off.
Definitely.
Yeah, but it's like somebody from The Wire is in every single show from BMF, all the powers, fucking Snowfall, fucking ATL, Atlanta, like you name it. But even just shows that's outside of just black culture. Also, there's other shows. Like if you look on Netflix, most of the top shows, there's somebody from The Wire in it. You know what I'm
that's a
saying?
fact.
So it's like you never really seen an ensemble that like that.
And I got another question.
Yeah.
What was during the process of The Wire? That remember this is seasons.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a 3-part question. Do you know what's the next phase we're going into?
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite episode personally? What was the most difficult role for you to not role but part of the film for you to
That's great. First, you said we didn't know, so I wouldn't find out what's happening on the next episode we shooting until we get to like towards the end of shooting that episode. And they did a good job at like making sure we didn't know anything. Like we was kids, you know, teenagers. So we going up to the producers, like one of them, my guy Ed Burns. We would be chilling with him all the time, and we'll be bothering the shit out of him, like, yo, what's gonna happen? Because everybody on The Wire, all the actors, our fear was dying. You know what I'm saying? Like every episode, dying off the show. That's it. That's everybody fear. So like we would sit with him like, yo, so who dying? You know what I'm saying? And until one day I think we got to like maybe episode 5 or 6, and he probably got so annoyed with us. He was like, none of y'all are gonna die, and we was like, I bet. Because when we would get the scripts, it was like we would skim through it real quick. You just always wanted to make sure your name was in the beginning, the middle, and the end. You know what I'm saying? Like you always wanted to make sure your name was on the page, and then you knew you was at least gonna be alive for the next episode. So that was we didn't know. So I think that also helped us in our style of acting, because if you know that at the end, it's kind of hard to play it through. You know what I'm saying? Then you ask my favorite scenes. Anytime you watch Avon and Stringer together, it's just different. For me, the storyline wise, acting wise, just watching Idris Elba and Will Harris just go to like it was like watching
two powerful brothers.
Like
man.
you know what I'm saying? Like watching fucking Magic and Larry Bird just go to work together. You know what I'm saying? And so that scene when they on the roof. and
know
they
which one
both
you're
know
talking
each of them is going. One is trying to kill the other,
and the one is trying to put the
one
other
about
one
to
in,
kill the other, and the one about to put the other
one
away.
in jail.
And you just see them like for the last time, like even though they got it out for each other, they both have their reasons. It's you know, Stringer like I can't keep this going with the violence he wanted to portray, with his energy.
Because Stringer was just focused on the business.
Business. He just want to be successful.
Avon was coming home on a soldier tip.
He ready to go to war because he know that's what it takes to have these corners. You gotta go to war. If you don't show your muscle, if you don't show your power, you can't control the streets. But he knew like the Stringer nigga, like, oh, he two-faced it. And he gonna do whatever he could do for the business. So like they both going at each other. So that scene with them on the roof, it's such good acting because for this one moment, we brothers real quick, and that nothing gonna change that. But it's just
we know something's coming.
Something coming, you know what I'm saying? So that scene is just so ill. That whole season, like everybody talk about season 4 being the best season. I'm biased if I agree. For me, season 3, man. Season 3 is just different. Like that's where you get the introduction of Marlo, Avon, and String. You know,
season 3 definitely upped the ante.
It did.
It upped the ante.
Absolutely.
With the storyline.
Absolutely. Yeah, it changed it. It changed the game because The Wire knew it could easily be confused as like a cop show, like a Law and Order show, and that's not what it was about. You know, The Wire was about systems and how systems affect everything.
Political,
all
street,
the systems,
everything was tied.
All of it, and how it's all tied together. So they had to do things like go on season 2, go to the docks real quick, you know. And a lot of people be like, "Damn, I hate that season." But if you really watch that season
goes
ill.
into season 3.
It goes into everything.
How you gonna know the story without the Greeks?
How you gonna know where we at without knowing how it got here?
Exactly.
Or how it's getting here?
How
you
you
know
not gonna know about Proposition Joe and his doing and stuff like that?
You know what I mean? Cheese with Method Man character, like
that was his
we
season
needed
right
those.
there.
But people talk like down on season 2 so much they forget that season had fire moments. The fucking D'Angelo Stringer coming to D'Angelo. And he like, where's Wallace? That's season 2.
String?
People don't realize that's season 2.
Where the fuck is Wallace?
Classic shit, you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
I'm gonna get my own lawyer.
Right, you know what I'm saying?
I don't want this cheese square motherfucker representing me.
Facts.
Shout out to D'Angelo, man.
My guy, Larry Gilliard. That's my guy. But yeah, bro, like we needed all those seasons for it not to be a Law and Order. Nothing wrong with Law and Order, but Law and Order does exactly what it's supposed to do. Right. Every episode tells a different case. They solve it. You know they're gonna solve it at the end of the show. Okay. Or whether it's gonna take 2 to 3 episodes. I love they never really figured out certain shit in The Wire. There's mad open cases you don't even know happened because that's real. Because you realize it's deeper than catching the bad guy. What we deem as the bad guy. Right. It's deeper than that shit. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe the scene where Naaman's mom smacks him, and that's because I was going through a lot in my life at that time, especially with my moms. You know what I'm saying? Like it was tough, and that scene, it was like he finally like let go. He put the home a little bit. Yeah, you know he finally like. I feel like at the character Naaman, you watch him with a mask on every episode prior to that. Yeah. You watch him with a guard up. Every episode, you watch him, his representative. At that moment, he said, I'm done. I can't do this no more. And from that scene on, he shifts. It's like a shift that goes. And I think for me, I was currently going through a shift in my life. And I think that really was powerful.
It resonated with you to play it at that particular moment.
Absolutely. Sometimes we wear too much of a mask. Gotta let that shit go. You know what I'm saying?
So fast forward after The Wire, you get the movie role in Miracle. I mean, in Brotherly Love with Keke Palmer. Yeah. How did that transpire?
Oh man, you know, me and Keke have been working for a while together. My very first movie is a joint called The Wool Cap, and that was her first movie. Then we did a Kill and a Bee together, you know, a little after that, right before The Wire. But, Brotherly Love, it was just like, you know, I knew a lot of people that was a part of it. Shout out Charlie Mack out in Philly. He like the king of Philly. Shout out Jamal Hill, who directed it. Like, they just was good people to work with. And then the cast was just fire. Like, you know, we had a bunch of people that, like, was on the come up at that time. Like, Nafisa Williams, who she just played in the Whitney movie. And, you know, Keke Palmer, of course. Corey Hardrick, my brother out in Chicago. He killing it right now. Like, then you got Lil Romeo, Quincy, you know what I'm saying? Lil JJ. Like, it's just the cast was, like, a bunch of young people that was killing at that point and, like, all in the come up. Just put them in a movie. Got Tiana Taylor in the movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a bunch of
star-studded movie.
Yeah, it was a good one, man. And anytime I get to work with Keke, it's a pleasure. You know, that's my little sister. I watch her whole transition, see her having a kid right now. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I'm saying?
I was about to ask you about that pregnancy. She glowing though.
Glowing, looking so beautiful. But it's like, imagine your little sister. Like it is my little sister. You know what I'm saying?
Watching even us who don't know her, we ain't like Keke is so innocent. So it's like to see her pregnant. Sisters, right? Like when this happened, child.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and she's such an amazing person. So anytime I get to like work with her, it's always fire. So yeah, and Brotherly Love is like a little cult classic. You know what I'm saying? Like if you know, you know. It's one of those type of projects.
Definitely is.
Yeah, we ran Netflix for like a good year, man. We was like, before they even started doing the top 10 joint, we was like in the top 10 of Netflix like viewership for a while.
Yeah, that was definitely a good movie.
Yeah, thank you. That's a good one.
Before you ask your other question, come on, give me some time. Like, sheesh. Working amongst the great actors and actresses, like even the directors that you mentioned, what are some of the jewels that they dropped to you that till this day still resonates with you?
I think it's funny. It's not even a jewel that was dropped specifically to me, but like it's a moment I had with Spike. So I was on this joint. It was going to be a pilot. It was going to be a TV show about Mike Tyson life. And it was going to be on HBO, and I was one of the main characters. We was about to do this whole before you shoot it, like these big projects, you go do a table read. So that's where everybody sit with the script and read it out loud. The producers is there, the network is there, everybody there to watch it. And the dude so there was the guy playing Mike. He was number 1 on the call sheet. I was number 2, and there was this cat that was number 3, and he showed up late to the table read. And he went to maybe like Green Ave when he was supposed to be on Green Street. And he called Spike like, yo, I'm going to be 5 minutes late. And Spike was like, don't come. You good. And they recasted him because he was late for a table read. So like, I may not have learned, that wasn't a lesson that like Spike taught me in particular, but I've kept that my whole life, bro. Like, I'm never late. I'm never late anywhere, like dead ass. And if I am, something really, really had to happen. Right. I'm a man of my word. You know what I'm saying? I'm a man of integrity. Every time you hit the alarm, it's like you taking you hit the snooze button. It's like you taking an ounce out of your integrity. Facts. And I think I learned that from a lot of moments like that. So acting wise, I could tell you a bunch of shit. From just like being true to characters, never act, be shit like that. But it's little moments like watching moments like that with Spike about lateness and about being in integrity with your word. That's like I've kept with me my whole life. Yeah,
that was a good question.
We a little guilty about that, a little lateness.
Yeah. I mean, we humans, so shit happens. You know what I'm saying?
But definitely,
it's just something I learned that
always. Actually, that's what I learned in The Wire. That's crazy, right? I think was that season 1 or season 2 when Avon had took D'Angelo.
Yeah, to see it. That's one of my favorites. I should have said that too. That's one of my favorite scenes.
Yeah, right there.
Yo, a little late, a little too slow. Come on, bro.
Yeah, a little late, a little too slow. Yeah. Always get there early. Always get there early. Absolutely. That right there was a gem that Avon dropped on D'Angelo. And that shit has stuck with me for the rest of my life.
That's a fact, bro.
You always supposed to, like, that's even how I treat events and shit like that. When people tell me where to function at, I'm that dude that's like, hey, yo, where the address? What's the address? Where it's at? I'm already Google mapping it before that because I want to see what's the block around the corner. If some shit happen, how I gotta go around this way, way. Like, oh shit, I ain't got beef with nobody, but all right, that's a blood territory up
Yeah,
there.
you gotta know your
This
surroundings.
Niggas is loc up there.
You know,
you feel me? You gotta know your
You know what?
surroundings.
Because we have experienced, not to cut you off, but we have experienced of losing too many niggas that got
That's
caught
a fact.
slipping.
Yeah.
And you could never not get caught slipping. You could we humans. You can
happen.
always slip.
It can happen.
But nigga, you ain't going. Nigga, you going. I'm gonna have
I
to really slip, nigga.
Yo,
I gotta
you know
be
what I'm
sliding.
saying? I gotta slide.
Yo, this is why this shit is so fucking dope for me, bro. Because another jewel that I got from the wire was I'd rather get caught with it than without it.
That's a fact, my nigga.
That shit is real life.
That's a
when you've been
fact.
through real life shit and you've been in the streets,
that's a fact.
hey, I'd rather get caught with it than without it, my
That's
nigga.
a fact.
You know what I mean?
That's a
Because
fact.
when you get caught without it, you might never ever be able to see the day again.
That's a fact.
You get caught with it, at least you could be at ease.
That's a
I
fact.
got caught with it though.
That's a fact.
I got caught with it though.
No, that's
ain't no
absolutely
reason.
no.
If
But
you-
honestly, I don't even listen to. I don't hear. I be thinking a lot deep, my nigga. I don't listen. I don't look at it straight as like having a gun with you or without it. Sometimes having your smarts. Having your mind, which you know, a lot of niggas be senseless. A lot of niggas is out here not even thinking, and not even about being alive or dead. Sometimes it could be you getting the next job or not. Nigga, I'm always on point. Nigga, I'm shooting a movie tomorrow. Nigga, it's like 5 lines. I'm on point though. Nigga, I've been studying that shit for a week, 2 weeks. It's like you rather be with whatever than without whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I dig what you saying too, because a lot of niggas out here just moving wacky for no reason.
Nah, that's a
What
fact.
you just said is wacky. Even with that 5 line, I'm treating that shit like it was a whole.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like that. At least, like I said, I'm with it because no matter what, at least I know
No matter
I'm
what.
with the right intention.
Absolutely.
Yep, and again, it's all about, you know, how you look at it too. So even with you just symbolizing, it could be a gun or it could be your mind. It could be as far as sharp as, you know, how you think. You have to have that knowledge
Always
in
move
anything.
militant.
Always know that it's always room to grow. It's always room to learn. Don't think you got it all, because at the end of the day, you always gotta have not a plan B, but you always gotta expect the unexpected.
Be on point.
Be on point.
Absolutely.
So what movies are you working on right now? I know you just recently had a movie just dropped. What movie is that again?
Yeah, this joint is called Aurora. Aurora, a love story. Yeah, it's
Where can we find it on?
It's in select theaters, you know, across like 17 cities.
Definitely gonna see that.
But then it's on demand everywhere. So anywhere you could watch a movie, if you put Aurora in, it'll pop up. So that's Amazon, Hulu, all of that. Not Netflix, that's the only one, but like all the on-demand sites, those you can watch the movie anyway. Yeah.
So what you shooting tomorrow?
I'm shooting this joint. I can't really talk about it right now. That shit kind of big, but
It's a movie or a show?
It's a movie.
I tried it, right?
Nah, I can't talk about this one.
I want to know about the 5 lines.
Go on.
Look, I've been doing this a long time. You feel me? I know my shit. You know what I'm saying? Nah. I wish I could. No, I wish I could. I just don't. I haven't even thought to talk about it yet.
It's all
so
right.
I don't want them to be like, nigga, why you talking about this?
And don't put it out in the universe
Nah,
and tell us.
when you able to talk about it, I want the exclusive.
Oh,
man.
nah, that's a fact. That's a fact. I got some shit. Like, I got this new joint I did last year. Last year now. Because I'm like, damn, we in 2022. Feel like 2022 still. I don't know. I'm all over the place.
It's the longest year.
Longest fucking year, bro. But yeah, I did this joint last year. It's called Story Ave. This joint is going to be fire. It's about this kid who, he's a graffiti artist in the Bronx. And it's like a coming-of-age story about his life, trying to figure life out. And the cast for that is fire. My homie Hassan Johnson, who played my pops in The Wire, he's in it. Luis Guzman, he's in it. I know that's Pachanga. That's a bunch of different people. He played. He in Wednesday right now to join on Netflix. Legendary actor. He's in it. The kid that's the main character is the kid from the Central Park 5 joint. He's the main dude on that. Asante Black, kid from the Shy is on it. Main kid on the Shy. This cast is crazy. The mother
That's
from
a show I would
Bel Air.
love to see you on too.
Which one, the Shy?
Yeah.
Yeah, nah, man. So it's funny. I auditioned for it when it was like when they were shooting the pilot for, because they did this joint we was talking about with MIRCALES Boys.
Yeah.
They did that for the shot where they casted that. They shot the pilot with a completely different cast, and then when they did the actual show, they recasted it. So I knew it was gonna be good when I auditioned for it. It's different now, but yeah, I knew it was. I know it's gonna be good, so I'm looking forward to seeing if I could. You know, I'm down with all that, man. Whatever. I'm always auditioning different things like that, but I also believe like what's for me is for me. So what's for me will
always come to you.
It's gonna come to me. And if I've auditioned for a little bit of everything, and you know maybe it just wasn't my moment, but
right.
I ain't sitting on that. You know, I'm creating my own projects, writing my own shit. I got a pilot of a TV show I'm about to do. I wrote a movie about my mom's life. It's called The Brooklyn Tales. So, you know, all the interesting stories I'm talking about her, you know what I'm saying? Right. I was like, she's so interesting. Fuck, I'm going to write about her life. Because my mom's and dad met in the, 89 when he didn't speak English. He was straight from Colombia. He had, moving dope and shit. He didn't speak English. She didn't speak Spanish. They met and fell in love. And within 2 years, he was murdered. And, I think that story just ill. You know, you don't really hear thank you, bro. You don't hear coming of age stories about a young black woman who had to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? My mom had 8 kids. You know what I'm saying? So she figured this shit out. But in that one little moment when she met my dad is a real powerful story. So yeah, I wrote this joint called The Brooklyn Tales. So look out for that.
Yeah.
I want to thank you for coming, bro.
Yes, sir.
We definitely got to do a part 2 to this.
Absolutely.
When a new movie drop,
Absolutely.
we definitely got to get this going.
Absolutely.
I just saw you was just at premiere get together with Michael B. Jordan.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. My brother.
I hope to see y'all two working together in the near future.
Yeah, we got
shout outs to Michael B. Jordan, man.
Put it in the universe.
Yeah, man. Shout outs to everybody. Shout outs to The Wire. Everybody, man. Rest in peace to my man Boom P.
Yeah, rest in peace, Boom, man.
Rest in peace to Boom, man. Shout outs to my brother 4K Clip Films.
Yes,
Moments
sir.
of Clarity.
Yes, sir.
Eh?
We out of here.
Out of here like ball spots.